I was about 2 years old and my dad came home drunk and my parents got in a fight. My dad threatened to kill himself with a gun. And I didn't understand it at the time, but I started screaming and crying. When I was 7 years old, my cousin had molested me. One of my friends killed herself. At the anniversary of my dad's death, my cousin who molested me was murdered. I had just turned 18, graduated from high school, and he started grabbing me by the neck, choking me against the wall. I was his rag doll. And next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, handcuffed to a bed.
The trauma's never gonna go away. It's always gonna be there. But we can teach them how to deal with it and how to live with it. And that's why we say it's animals helping people and people helping animals.
I was intoxicated. I had a lot of built up anger, and I attempted to kill myself. It was chaotic. My mom got pregnant and had both my sister and I by the time she was 24. She was young. My dad was an alcoholic. I was a huge daddy's girl, so my mom and I butted heads a lot. After my dad tried to pull that incident with killing himself, I would just go out and hang out with my animals. When I was 7 years old, my cousin had molested me, and within a 2-year span of time, it happened, say about 10 times. When I was 13, I remember coming home from school. My mom sat us down and she told us my dad passed away. I felt like I was in a bad dream, in a very bad dream for a long time. I started dating when I was about 16, and naturally I was attracted to men that were like my father, the life of the party, but also they came along with a temper and drinking. It got louder and worse. He'd punch holes in the wall next to my face. I vaguely remember being picked up and brought into his room, and I just remembered I told him no. He shattered my phone, broke my nose, bruised kidneys. The day I had enough, he cornered me in our house and he slit his wrist. I had a lot of built up anger, and I took a bunch of pills, and next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, handcuffed to a bed. My mom reached out to Bob at Ranch Hand Rescue.
When clients are regressing in their current programs, then when they come to us, we start to see all kinds of additional symptoms when we test them. So you don't just have the trauma from sexual abuse as an example. Most clients have PTSD, anxiety, a tremendous amount of fear. But then we also start to see eating disorders, self-mutilation, attempted suicide, and the list just goes on and on. So we're not just dealing with that original trauma, we're dealing with all of the other issues that are starting to arise.
My grandpa had passed away, and later on that week I had cut myself, and I went to therapy. She just, gave me skills to help with coping, to not want to harm myself. We walk out into the field, and one of the first ones, it was a donkey, and his name was Moon Dancer. And every week I went, I'd walk out there, and Moon Dancer was always the first one. And I would braid his hair, I would just lean on him, talk. It was the most therapeutic and comfortable environment for me.
There's a tremendous amount of data about the power of animals in mental health therapy, and we know that horses and working with wounded warriors and the various programs, how great those programs are, and dogs lower blood pressure in hospitals and that sort of thing. But what nobody ever figured out was the power of abused, neglected animals with abused, neglected people.
It really helped just to not sit in a room by yourself with someone and just try and focus just on all the bad things.
We know that some kids, some adults, they'll tell an animal something before they'll tell an adult in a traditional office environment.
They have a chicken, her name is Madeline, and she is the sweetest chicken. And I brought her in because it was raining, and she just sat on my lap the whole time and slept. And chickens don't do that. I have an amazing boyfriend now that I can open up to and cope with. I also have Bob. Bob is one of my main people, and if it wasn't for him and Ranch Hand Rescue, with what they do, I don't think I'd be where I am today.
They're innocent victims of sexual abuse and trauma. And so I think it's our moral obligation to help as many of those kids and adults as we can. Our biggest single need is each individual who joins us or who partners with us, who puts their trust in us and helps fund our programs.
Anybody going through trauma, who's battling depression, PTSD, and not even that, if you're just having a hard time, call Ranch Hand Rescue. They welcome everyone.